Hey guys, and welcome to EU4 or Europa Universalis 4. Now, this is basically just an intro video to my new series. I'm going to be doing a Let's Play with it. Obviously, I absolutely adore this game. The third one was what introduced me to these types of games, so I have really fond memories. It's probably my favourite time period as well. So I'm just going to introduce what I'm going to be doing, what Let's Play I'm going to be doing, what plans I have for the future of this game, and also if any of you guys come from things like CK2, I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of what sort of the differences are, just in case. It's a quick one. I'm not actually going to go into specific mechanics really. Just a quick little rundown, particularly for those people who are actually thinking of getting it, because I know there are many people who are coming from CK2, was their first game in this company's lineup, Paradox Interactive, and they've never really heard of EU or any of its other titles. And I've got to say, what happens is it looks very similar. Like, you'll look at that and you think, oh, it's like Crusader Kings 2. What's the point? Or, oh, I'll probably enjoy it. Now, the difference is that all their games generally look very similar, but in their own way, they are completely different games. And I'm being serious here. Like, you've got to play completely differently, different mechanics, different strategies. Crusader King 2 is all about dynasties. It's all about, sort of religion and dynasties and stuff like that, and just getting claims on everything, and assassinations and backstabbing. EU is more about politics, strategy, and sort of colonies and trading. It's a different feel. When you play it, it feels completely different game, and that's why I love them, because they make each of the sort of different ages of the world, and they have different mechanics based on the period, and it all makes sense, and I really love that. On this one, obviously, you don't play as dynasties, you play as countries, which again is something I really enjoy. I do like the whole dynasty thing, the whole roleplay aspect, and obviously it's completely different. For any of you guys who watch my other series, I generally try and roleplay as my characters in Crusader Kings 2, but in this one you play as a country. So what you're going to be seeing from me is, I'm going to slight roleplay a few things, such as things like colonize. I've got a little idea for what I'm going to do there, but you're generally just going to be watching me playing as me. So I'm going to be playing very strategically, trying to figure out what I need to do next, my alliances and stuff, who I should align with. These games generally do turn into a mass just war. I feel in this game AI is much more aggressive than in Crusader Kings. So wars happen constantly. World wars will happen. Because you generally find people start to align with different groups. And once those groups start to clash heads, it just goes all out. Now, I'm going to be playing as Burgundy. The reason I'm playing as Burgundy is, one thing, I didn't want to be one of the most powerful nations. I don't want to be England, France, or Castile, because they're really powerful. They're the obvious choices. I want to pick someone who's not small, because for me as well, this is an experience. I haven't actually really been able to play it that much, so I don't really know all the mechanics yet. So it's a learning experience for me as well. So I want to be someone who's not too small. In the future, that would change, though, obviously. And I was going to pick Aragon, but I've noticed that a lot of people, because obviously I'm recording this today, I've noticed a lot of people have been playing in the Iberian Peninsula, Castile, Portugal, and Aragon. No one played as Navarre yet. You'll probably definitely see some Navarre Let's Plays appear at some point. Don't think I've seen any though. Or Granada, actually, that would definitely appear. Everyone loves to try and beat Granada and survive. Very hard. Just going to put that out there. So I decided not to go with the Iberian Peninsula, just because I felt it would be too samey. And my second choice, I guess, was Burgundy. I was thinking Austria, but I thought they were in the demo, so people would have played that. I want to play as Burgundy, though, because I feel like they've got a nice position. I didn't want to beat anyone in the HRE. That was my other big concern. I didn't want to deal with that. My first time through, I didn't want to deal with all the HRE stuff. It's a real big annoyance. Well, it's not that big an annoyance. Obviously, if you're the Emperor, adds a new element to the game, but I felt like I didn't want to deal with that. So I'm going to play as Burgundy. It means I obviously have the sort of Netherlands position, as well as a nice little part in Central Europe. So I think that's quite nice. I really enjoy that. So we're going to have a good game with them. See what we can do. Obviously, the first major war is basically France versus England. And obviously, for me, this could be very advantageous, because obviously, a strong France is not good for me. We do not want a strong France. But then again, England is very close by as well. So this is a very important war for us. And I'll go into that, obviously, during my Let's Play. But for now, that is what you're going to be seeing. This is a general sort of idea of what you'll be seeing, what I'm planning to do. But now I'm going to tell you about things I'm going to do in the future for this game. Because obviously, a lot of you guys are going to guess, are probably saying, Burgundy, they're not that hard, or another European nation, because I'm assuming a lot of people are playing these sorts of nations for their first playthroughs, which makes sense. You want to learn the mechanics. Playing as a bigger nation or semi-big nation is quite good for it, to learn the mechanics, because you've got a bit more bearings. I generally like to play as a small nation, a little silly one maybe, and try and work my way up. Just because I like to have everything concentrated. So in the future, you'll probably see from me maybe playing as a small nation such as Tuscany, or someone in the HRE probably. As well as, I'm going to try and go other places. I want to play in the New World at some point. Maybe play as the Aztecs and the Maya. The Maya, actually, I think is probably my favourite, because I know everyone loves the Aztecs, but it seems too obvious. The Maya are also really fun as well, so I feel like I might play as them. Because, the Incas are fun, but look at that. It's like you're just the Incas. There's no one else about. You can basically just try and colonize around you before the Westerners come. And that's really it. I'm really looking forward to seeing what mods are released for this game, because this game, number 3, got some really good mods, particularly things that expanded on the number of nations. That was really good, those sorts of mods. I always enjoy those ones. So I'm looking forward to those ones. Particularly the ones that add to the New World. A lot of them will add to the New World. I can guarantee that, because that always happens. So I'm looking forward to those ones. I'm also probably going to start one maybe in Japan in the future, because Japan is... I like the way it's done. You've got all these... I think they're called daimyo. I'm not sure if that's how you say it. I'm probably completely destroying it. But there's sort of an inner politics going on in Japan. There's a lot of balance going on and stuff like that. So it'd be quite fun to play in Japan and try and unite Japan. And playing as one of the lesser warlords and try and unite Japan under my rule. That may be quite fun. As well as maybe playing as the Mongol Khanate and trying to reform the Mongol Empire. Might be quite fun as well. Very hard. They're not in a very good position. But it might be quite fun. As well as maybe playing as an Asian nation down here, such as Champa or Divet. Oh no, Langxang, sorry, Divet is there. I remember I played Champa in EU3. That was really fun. I had a really good fun with them. The really nice thing about playing someone down here is sort of, you're not too big, you can play as a small nation, but you've got to deal with big ones such as Ming. You've really got to be careful of them. It's all a balancing act, a lot of this in this game. If you're playing a small nation, you've really got to try and balance out the big nations. So ally yourself with one big player, so you can then tackle the other big person. To be protected from them, obviously. So you really got to try and balance out Ming, because they're really the only major power here. Obviously, there's things like, I'm not sure if you say this one, it's Ayatea? I'm going to go with that. They're usually quite strong, if I remember correctly, and so is Shan. So I really like this area down here, so we may see one down here, as well as, obviously, because what you're seeing here, obviously, is the whole world. You can play as anyone, which is what's really great, but there's so many scenarios. There was just an abundance of scenarios, an abundance of situations, an abundance of nations. And actually, looking at one now, I would really like to play as Persia. Persia would be really fun. Like, play as an early Persia. I think that's the first time they appear. Obviously, you can just go back, which is really fun. You can just change the time period and stuff like that. So you haven't got to go with one of the scenarios. But the scenarios are fun, because usually there's a major event happening. But Persia... I would love to try and be Persia. That would actually be a really fun one if I want to go with the Middle East. So yeah, that is probably what you're going to be seeing from me in the future. Right now I want to concentrate on this first one, so I can get used to the mechanics, so I can have some fun, and we'll see what happens. I hope you'll join me, and I hope you'll join me in the future. But I've obviously been Paradox, and this is EU4. Real great game. Looking forward to this. Cannot wait. We'll be taking them all on with Burgundy.